Today is Thursday, 2015. This is 6:05 a.m. I am just returned at my address after, since this 2 a.m. around, I just went out. I suddenly didn't want to go out except for if I would ever can just leave. At the reality of this all, I were swearing again, and during I just felt slept here inside. For the same sense of witches evangélicas diablas, and every son of a snake in the generate, making a whole of the same, and my mother used for the editing some substances I never need. Whenever she has the chance, thinking I need medications and I will have to chill out, because of I will be dangerous, or violently sick and putting in danger her life, about Porta Verbinia and others. The reality of this all delivered me into I just went out, and whenever put it, my walk out of the door of this building. Before this to happen, I woke up with a very screaming riot, which is heard right at the other side of this room, which is the next building, where this person, Ezekiel, is addressed. I don't know his last name. His neighbor that were living here since I just came at the 2005 recycling this property with 2 workers, licensed workers, and addressed since 2006, and a little bit mistaken by me. I thought 2005, January 1st, 2006, I were living here. It were not that way. Were a little mistake. I'm sorry. I remember that we had the New Year's Eve in the before address in Bogota Street where I used to living with my sister Gloria, and where the 3 of us, my mother, my sister, and I. So suddenly, all through these situations, and while I heard this riot, and vamos, 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 vamos. And I thought, and I heard the voice of Roberto Rotolo, Rotola Roto, which is one that is addressed here in the unit, which is at the bottom, contra front of this building, which used to working in security, now seems to be secret Sodoma, or something like that. And suddenly I came out and I saw Tacliqui Mirar Asmotan, and I saw Expertizas Policía Federal Argentina. And suddenly the reality is, this kid has a band. He invited me. We had to do something of music. I was singing. He heard me singing at the right outside. He never came in here, and I never went inside his house. We agreed anytime we would, and never happened. I have my story. He has his. The reality of his is around this neighborhood where Policía Federal Argentina 40 and Cristina Kirchner has a lot of business, and a person that needs a help. And this supposedly will be for narcos operative, and the reality for other affairs, which supposedly there will be people implied in some class of a crime that this person will be accused. And Roberto Rotolo is involved. Then denounces Maiden and this one Roberto Rotolo, which supposedly my iris and my lie, would declaring opening for summer secrets for Policía Federal Argentina and Cristina Fernández de Kirchner and Aníbal Fernández, that in this house my mother will ever fitting narco cells to the neighborhood and to neighbors, and would healing me as well for elegant sinning, and saying that this house is house of whores, that armed forces comes and makes party all day all night, and also my mother to be a whore, and I would be seeking for his interesting, and also that I will be a blech vesivish koblech matlech vesechish vadach lakam berle vespot levesechish katlech lachimipi amat vesed be'inkabni. In the middle of this all, I will be delirium and everything will be alike, while the techniques of coverage and cover everything and now no one to nobody to know a thing and knowing what it's been done for the forging and twisting and conspiracy against our government, and we told you we're the victims. And I don't want to say no more words that I already said, but they deserve everyone, and they are. Shall I say the F word or the P word in Spanish? La mierda. Whichever one is. So the reality, I just went out and I just knew there were people in problem. And your honors needs I to declare, which these are going to try to cut in my services, for this video to be stolen, forged, while I'm doing in other perras, Eduardo Cesas, Policía Federal Argentina, and Evangelics, United Evangelics, saying that I'm stealing them the video that they are repeating behind me what I'm saying. And terrorists. And suddenly the reality that I just went for a walk. In this walk I'm found in the middle of a mess. I had to come to Palermo like yesterday afternoon. I just passed by and supposedly incitating uniformed armed forces trousers. Have you seen? We always told you, he does. So in the middle of this all, perras evangelistas were all the time seeking for this to be. We always knew. And he doesn't regret, so we're gonna talk to the mother. Because of the stolen to brain, and this is a summer secret, don't you say to nobody, stolen to us, and all as permanently, all as devices as has in the house and everything he has, were stolen to us. And its family as well. So what the reality of the soul during already everything clear. And everything clear. And the staging of, I did it first, and he steals to me, and he makes mind control and guess on us, and guess on me. And in the middle of the reality, just helping and supporting for certain this. I went yesterday under extortions and some other, and suddenly I passed by where it is the Centro Aeroespacial Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina. Right behind Aeroparque, Lugones, and the Rego Avenue. And I just walked, because of your own I needed I come there. After I supposedly heated, shall I say, Prefectura Naval Argentina, Arenita Sodomita, sí. And suddenly I just passed by and were these two of, were not Gendarmería Nacional, were Ejército Argentino. Perras en celo, enfermos degenerados. Sorry. Enfermos degenerados, Ejército Argentino. And I simply walked. And one, a baldy perro degenerado, while watching me, seated, because of I just were passing by, watched me, and at the 37 meters away, tells me, "Me chupas la banana." And another old big word, perro degenerado, just like it, celebrating and watching the show. And suddenly Iran needed I just remained there for an extortion that almost murders Jewish Communities Council responsibles, United Nations in New York City and Geneva, and Coalition for ICC, United Nations. And it's not an ORG, it's Institution of United Nations. And suddenly I supposedly will be delirium. And the son of a snake just rised from its seat condition and started watching, so hysteric and neurotic. And the only thing which lasted hitherto were groping, and he were about. And I just remained there until clear enough everything, cleared it all. And Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina, people of mine, people of ours, and the rape all over. But perros degenerados like that. Me chupas la banana. I don't have a face of monkey, and I cannot be a monkey. And the ones evangelica y perras de Sodom y Gomorrah that pretends to saying, "Oh, he saw your face off." Impossible, because if I don't have face of monkey, and a monkey doesn't go for a trouser and confuses. The monkey understands which is a banana and which is a marica de Sodoma. Notably. And the reality is that you all cannot reach not even the shape of a monkey. Diablo de mierda. And evangelica as well. Diablo de mierda. Then, sorry for this. At the clear of this, I just walked. And I just walked around this reality, and I were expecting, for the reason of this all, I supposedly come to inhering and inciting at the sex, at the men in watch in duty for the government, harassing and provoking, seducing for the boner to come up, and they do want to masturbate with me and getting crazy and go to rape people. Because if they dump me up, wouldn't it be easier just come and catch me and say, "Now you are going to blow me," if that is so drama thing, instead coming to, "Oh, because of he didn't blow me up, I'm going to you because of your its friend." Everything is intentional and everything is conscious, and are not victims and not poor ones. And evangelics saying this class of an argument saying that is this way, neither. So the reality of, "Oh, have you any time just slept with any one of them for they to do this to you and to your people?" Argumento de perra, de cuarta, arrastrada, barata, psicópata, mentirosa, criminal, pretending that to be an expertise. So suddenly there were, at the site of I already denounced, "Ahora vas a ver a los judíos de acá, y vamos a agarrar a los judíos de allá y los vamos a coger delante de todo el mundo, y vamos a poner este Tito, y vamos a mostrar quién este Tito es, y el mundo entero va a conocer y se van a derretir por nuestros machos." Cristina está reventada Kirchner y su reventado oficialismo. So in the middle of this, forgive me please the terms. Ask you please. I just were clear about this and supposedly have been and had to approaching to a couple of that were around there to asking them the trouser and saying, "Oh, give it to me." And we're in a kind of a position for that, "Oh, he's gonna want me and he's gonna want it," and showing up and making an exhibition with a couple of hands having a trouser, pretending that to be a couple of testicles and a shaft by the side. Sorry, they says. And in the middle of this all, simply were around and dealing with this lacra, mierda degenerada, needing to leave. 3 rabbis and then families were in emergency and still are, with the rest of the Jewish communities in the whole Latin America. Perros, maricones, reventada mierda, Gendarmería Nacional specials, and Policía Federal Argentina specials inside them houses with the narcos in the pockets of the sets for the incomplementary security, and a bag full of for the implanting and raping them and almost abusing a kid. AMI Argentina under the target saying that they are making this, and these families, Rabbi and families crying, not understanding and not noticed. At the reality of, like the rest all, and the whole Latin America, making the same to the Jewish communities, telling that they and AMIA and everyone of Jewish makes narco traffic, and the increased economy of Israel will be deliberately produced for narco traffic, that Israel will send narcos that they will ever prove they will done, which 75,000 containers came from the Middle East, from Iran arrangement with Christina Kirchner for making this, which, they accused permanently to Iran that of being terrorists and that of being criminals, and suddenly we found out that, poor Iran, they are not okay, the terrorists were them, of course. Jewish. And Israel will send narcos that they brought from Iran. I mean, Policía Federal Argentina, Gendarmería Nacional, Oficialismo Argentina, Evangelistas Unidos, 12, 42, 52, 31, Central, SIDE, Ejército Argentino. And in the middle of this all, for the saying that I will be the core and related with La Blanco, the Madame Blanco, New York City, which is not her name. And we're making deal with Ejército Argentino, Peronismo Argentino, and Daniel Adafal, Tribunales Argentina, which remain at ever, Federales. And the last name were for long ago for the premeditations about my person since AMIA case. That Argentina, Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, Peronismo, Menemismo, Kirchnerismo, still covering they done. Not Al-Qaeda, than business. So in the middle of this reality, we found out that they proceeded into the saying, also collaborating and saying, International Court of Justice, The Hague, International Criminal Court, makes terrorism also, and are all part of the same business, because of they had business that supposedly provided were ours, and will never work, and suddenly they said that is about the infrastructure to sustain it. And this La Blanco of New York will ever give in testimony that yes, I will be placed and being supposed relative of her for the making nervous. In a deal with this shit. And Maricas Ejército Argentino making the narco traffic between DMT and Vonsal, Dolkev, New York, a very big map, which puts everybody permanently at the fearing, which are exactly like this. And saying that I will be Bethlehem Esecheli. And Israel will increasing for that, and there cannot be no cut about my person, and I will come around Armed Forces Argentina to rob them the secrets of state and the signings and the capacities and the virtues, and I will just come around to having sex with them and all the time making like a whore, and I will dress a code and so delicately like a woman to come to prostitute myself at the transvestite zone, and the transvestites of Cristina Kirchner will say, oh, he doesn't deserve the body, we deserve to be women, not him. And Perra Gomorra, we told you we're gonna be his husband and we're gonna be alien in heaven after sacrificing. And to Melech, Elmas, and to everybody else. And Cristina Kirchner made the market of this, with Perros degenerados oficialistas, which are the same like this. The whole. Everyone. And also there's the telling that I to be a cockroach. And someone turned to saying a lie for a reason to cover age. But the reality is rastrero, consumiendo porquerías y comiendo inmundicias de generaciones. In a whole dark place, and whenever light comes up, just friends, means supposedly the Lord, and hides and slits quickly. Not easy to trap. Guillermo ese pren, sos una cucaracha y te voy a matar. Con justicia moriste. Y con todo tu maldito prostíbulo y al infierno te vas. Perra deflectiva, degenerado diablazo. Ninguna otra cosa tuviste por la eternidad. Y tu prostíbulo con vos. Then at the reality of the soul, perras evangelistas kept on denouncing lies in the generations, and more porn and more murdered upon it because I found that it were a lie. And I supposedly to come around that, and the reality is also wanted to attack and murder, and kept on kidnapping people to massively raping and murder, and telling that I am making escape criminals for the government of the Argentina. But God given us, we are the chosen ones by the God himself. You cannot kill yourself, we cannot even kill you. And who is God? Luciano Troviano, la bestia. Kragesh. Chosen by God. And emplacing robbery of pagans and invention to the government of Argentina and UNASUR, emplacing traffic of criminals and persons illegally and criminally making criminals fugues from the justice of UNASUR in Argentina. It means the whole that they want to and kill our people. And with this, Giblatish and Tubu Antaklikivi Hetavashpatlahi falsely, fakely, manipulatively, forgedly accusing to the government of UNASUR in Argentina to making things like never happened, and we will be the ones to doing that. And oh, lady, madam, can we talking to you? Can you explain why this all denouncing and that you are accused of anything around that you can tell us and testify or simply confess? But blow up me because if I'm gonna hit you hard and you're gonna understand that this is the way you get to do because of Wiga Man. The entrance of the house and everybody else's were elected. And the mother traded drugs. And also Borda. Because of we know, they were in the police chiefs all the time knew, and we've spoken to them, but certain words and ways shows us that they manipulatively are hiding things and doesn't say the truth. And police knows they are a narco and everything they has is rotten narco. And we are gonna find that this one were permanently used by the mother, and the mother destroying him permanently and pushing it to the drugs, the reason why he needs it. And he goes all the nights to and wanted to taking all of my people. And we're taking my people to making this the generation every day. And we're trolazos putos reventados sobre this. OCMC, DGCMC, Policía Federal Argentina Intelligence, with the embezzlement, with the threat to the fourth company, Argentina, over the ranger, all around, watching me near and watching and studying and guessing up and saying, oh, he's there, he's near, and he's there, oh, he's still all over. Were you watching for the supposed narcos control, putazo de mierda, malnacido puto muerto? Y esto es una ofensa, vas a morir, y vas a morir pronto, y lo voy a disfrutar. So what the reality of this I will come to in hearing trousers of maricas reventadas this. And, oh, can I go to the jail? We told you he weren't doing. Have you seen the pictures he photographed? All the same perros degenerados y perras evangelistas, one and another. You gotta talk to my family. I'm gonna deliver you into death. For the whole you done to mine and for the you kept on doing to me, for a lifetime conscience about what you do. Because of you keep on hiding and playing the witchcraft about nobody to guess on us, nobody to escape. And making the espadita de perrata de Sodoma for there to slaughter national security techniques for the hunting white criminals. And nobody knows and nobody sees. And you destroy the whole around and las reventadas civiles that supports everything in your business. For you to rape and murder and kidnap and making the whole generation. Marica reventado, hijo de una gran puta. Milico de mierda, pedazo de perro, todo reventado. Como la marica que me mandaste al camino haciéndome pasar por ahí. Huele a vómito, a perro, a reventada mierda, puto de Sodoma. Como toda la mayoría. Y te vas a poner perfume y te vas a bañar en hedores de para oler bien, para decir, se equivocó, acá se equivocó. Y vas a hacer un vómito por toda la eternidad, puto reventado. Para que se haga lo que necesitas, destruirse, reventarse, enfermas. Que es lo que me estuviste haciendo toda mi vida y nunca fui lo que necesitaste ni tampoco mi gente. Y enfermas y destruís y reventás. Desfigurás y usás serviles, prostis, reventada mierda baja y putazos del ejército argentino profanándome después de haber hecho un pesaje y forzándome a los términos para denigrar. No puede haber Dios en esos términos con esas palabras. Redimimos el mundo. Después de 3 horas, marica reventado. Sorry. En plek specifisch koplevegalachni en plevechtian, men plechidisefa. And my sister Monica will ever be deliberately businessing narcos. And she's a broker and she is a pensionate. She has a pension, but her deceased, passed away husband. And she is a professional and also uva arquitectura decano with a trading of them business insights, saving titles like Forensics has void it all, and Tribunales Argentina, and Parrascan, taking the protocoler of the same college of architecture, pages of the registers of the whole of the pupil, all around, and suddenly 7 assignatures, which, oh, we don't have it here. I'm sorry, you cannot give it all again because of you. I cannot having the title if you don't. And already were approved. And everyone approved. And suddenly that, over the pleasure of Sechlachi, oh, have you seen? They were making fraud, and she never done that, and she pretended there to be given for free. God don't know what she have done, maybe some prostitution around some professor. How did I know? And in the middle of this all, supposedly she will dedicate the narcos, and my nieces will be whores and consumers. And I have one niece, which is brilliantly beautiful, Paula, and she is a professional. She has a career, advertisement, publishment, and she is making another now, which is designing on graphics and all as TMTD for the making the compound in UBA. And suddenly in the middle of this all, she is working on that, and she is with a kin about some pasantías called here, and worked for a very reduced but acquiring experience, reduced earning. And she is a professional, and my other niece is studying as well. And she wanted to be an engineer in systems. And she's beautiful as well. And my nephew is studying as well, and he has a very emotional character in not really so much pushed to go ahead because of his receiving a lot of damages as well of this perros degenerados to trying to see if he can manipulate. And the other two nephews I have are amazing as well. One has a lot of conflicts, and I would need to help us for he to not fall in nothing, like don't have to, and works and has a very good living for his work, and stopped studying foreign commercial, bladgeri commerce, or exterior commerce, but he is working on that same field, and he's amazing. And I have another nephew which is amazing, and so young, started to studying in January in systems, and he is working in Garbarino, and he has a good earning, and we're traveling for post degrees at the same company he's working in, and he has got degrees in Paris and other countries, and he bought his own 2 rooms called here, Dos Ambientes, property owned, with a loan paying with his work. And my sister and my brother-in-law has, for the volunteer retirement by Telefónica de Argentina, they worked until long time in a very hierarchic post. He is an engineer in electronics, and he had an amazing salary, and he had the money that this company gave him for the ones that wanted to go, which is a substantial money, and also the heredity and the insurance for the deceased before wife of him. And my sister got the property that she got with Edgardo Croce, an ex-partner of her, which both of them taken by Bank of Boston, Buenos Aires, along with Rubasha and Vinia, and bought a property where I were living before, with a loan, and paid herself every month until she ended it, and went to living with her husband, Eduardo. And Graciela is living for, they doesn't give nothing further, no coin extra, but the necessary, and lives as the best they can. And the reality of this is exactly rentability of my brother-in-law, that he were making some about Dow, Buenos Aires, some investment, and has some going through. And Gloria works in ANSES, and my mother has a pension of her husband, let's say, because of this is complex thing. I am not for adultery, this is a different story, but we're not going to discuss this now. And also has the Cristina Barra Kirchner stolen to UCR and ARI the project of the home wives retirement. And suddenly in the middle of this all, I am stolen for jobs for everything that international court, Israel and US and Europe governments to try to be nearing me and giving me up for I to proceed into the living and making something about I have home and work in Israel. and turn to accusing God-Hill to the making conspiracies against the government of Argentina, saying that they will ever want to dismissing and putting out of fear with invention and manipulation a very global mega law criminal, which will be me. So in the middle of this all, kept on making the same all, and murdering people all around, saying that they commence and only can be them and us. And in the middle of this all, also my sister Graciela went 1 week with Eduardo to Santa Fe, Argentina province, and around the whole of the La Puna, known Jujuy, La Rioja, for narcos, and they were just having a vacation. And in the middle of this all, I'm in Israel, we got up them and killed them and taking everything that we say it's ours, because of they stolen to us and they didn't let us having what we say we had to have. You mean, you took us and kill us and you've taken my body and being the diablo en la stratosfera, because of you're not going to go further that, and even that I'm going to put you that. בפלך בסיך ישפוט לך כמי רחל בחלקי וישקול פלפך לחם עד פלפס מי פלפס סחיב ישקלת תוך מאימד אשפלקי בחלחם עד פלכי ויסקי פצי, you know. And turn to doing this in much other cases, saying UNASUR proved it. And every criminal hijo de una maldita grandísima reventada puta como Cristina Kirchner associated with this soul, for the making murder, genocide and destruction and any class of a lie and compounding any class of a shit and permanently daily witchcraft to me to saying he kills us and he's gonna make them run. Exactly, you can kill, so suddenly you go running for the making disaster and say call the milicos because of his ripping out the ones we cut that can kill because of we are not gonna be. And we have time still with me. And I am delirium. Malnacido trolazo. Sorry this. Forgive me please the term. Already. Please. https www mdr mdf fatnu at mavat. Command. Middle. Secreto de Estado Nacional Argentino. Terrorismo versus narcos. ¿Quién será el ganador del premio máximo de la República Argentina? La gran PDM 4143 en C1C, sangradora de Hernán Dasquelo. El tamaño más deseado de todo el mundo. Middle, ODR MCBM CTXT 87 2 10 14 8 2 zeros 5 61 87 zeros 13184143 DPMCD 1314 middle sysmiddle ODM .IT ODM 5 EB1 systems recall F6 the whole last tools and the lousy shit. Will they cut my service for I do not upload? And we don't host. Of course you made the main contract. We knew this all lot longer and we were working, don't you see? Taking whom? Los degenerados hijos de perra que te sirven y que hacen tu negocio, pero no la gente que mandas a matar, por la cual esta realidad sucede. La que denuncio, que vos sos parte, perra de 2 viagras en el bolsillo, un boner 7 días, violando permanentemente un sacrificio y decís, tengo tu vida, voy a hacer el día en el cielo. Reventada maldita puta de Gomorra. Y los perros degenerados de Sodoma igual. Y sus evangélicas aplaudan, el Señor prefiere esto. Sorry, forgive me the terms, please, ask you. I'm sorry.